Today we're going to look at the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs. If you think about transitive and transfer, they both start with the prefix trans, meaning across or beyond. A transitive verb is a verb that is followed by a direct object that is receiving the action of the verb. In other words, the action is done to someone or something. Most verbs are transitive. We're going to look at a sentence, for example. Jessica sharpened the pencil. Sharpened is a transitive verb, and the pencil is the object in the sentence that is receiving the action of the verb. It doesn't make much sense to have sharpened without an object. She sharpened is incomplete. The tip for remembering the name is to think of transitive verbs as transferring their action to an object, which can be identified by asking who or what after repeating the verb. For example, they bought new equipment. Bought what? The answer is equipment. Here's some more examples of transitive verbs. The pitcher threw the ball. Or, I ate pizza. He carried the bag. Each of these verbs has an object that follows, answering the question, what? Now we'll take a look at intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs don't have an object that follows the verb. Usually you can ask yourself who or what after repeating the verb, and the answer will be the object. However, if there is not an answer to the question, who or what, that means that there's not an object. Here are some examples of intransitive verbs. He ran. In this sentence, it doesn't tell what he ran, so this is an intransitive verb since no action is being transferred to a receiving object. Even if a phrase followed the verb, such as across the field, to read, he ran across the field, it still doesn't answer the question who or what. Instead, it answers where. Across the field. Therefore, the verb is still intransitive. Here are some more examples of intransitive verbs. The dog barked. Jill fell. Tim packed. Some verbs can be transitive or intransitive, depending on how they're used in a sentence. To cheer is one example. They cheered, that would be intransitive. If I said they cheered for him, that's still intransitive. You have a prepositional phrase that follows the action verb. If I said they cheered the band, cheered what or who? The band. So that would make it transitive. Here's another example. She sang. There's nothing following the action verb, so it's intransitive. She sang inside of the stadium. It's still intransitive because it's followed by a prepositional phrase. Inside of the stadium. Finally, she sang a song. She sang what? A song. So song is receiving the action of the verb sang. Here's a final example. Larry tripped. Tripped is not followed by an object that's receiving the action, so it's intransitive. Larry tripped over a rock. Over a rock is still intransitive. It's followed by a prepositional phrase. Larry tripped Alex. Larry tripped who? Alex, making the verb tripped a transitive verb.